And it's one thing I really, really liked about Rob. He would just say the most bizarre things, and wouldn't have a problem if we'd come in with bizarre ideas as well. But he would come in and he would say, "I want to do a musical." Okay, that's out of the blue. We've never even talked about it. Why would you want to do a musical? I just think it'd be fun.
Were you the first series to do it? Because now I saw Scrubs did it. Scrubs did a musical.
No, actually, several series have done it. Buffy did it.
Since you.
And Buffy actually did it. Since we did it, Buffy, shortly after us, Joss did an episode, which, by the way, they still play this at Comic-Con. You know, this is like the big theater, and they show this. I finally saw it. It's really hysterical. And Joss wrote all the songs and everything. He's an incredible writer. They did one. Ours was before that. Then they did theirs, and then we did another musical for Xena, which was all established songs, pop songs that were done. I was actually gone at that point. I think it was called Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire. I always came up with weird titles. But, I mean, people may remember that way before then, back in the 1980s, the series Moonlighting did a musical.
Mm.
So it's not a unique idea. It's not a new idea.
Right.
I think, though, and I could be wrong on this, but I think in the sci-fi fantasy syndication format, we were the first one.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay on that one. I mean, Fame, the series Fame, was a syndicated series before that. It wasn't fantasy or sci-fi. But the core of Fame was music and singing and dancing. We were adventure and then singing. So
now, people don't know that about Lucy, but she was a very good singer.
She was a trained singer.
Right.
Yeah,
that was her
actually,
background,
I believe she was trained in opera. That was her background. Yeah,
Hmm.
and all the singing that she did the singing.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Smith, who played Ares, he was also a singer. He passed away, unfortunately. You know, you meet a lot of talented people in this business, and they pass away. This was an incredibly talented person. So if you don't know who Kevin Smith was, it's because his big break was right there, and he passed away. It is truly a tragic loss. But anyway, I miss Kevin quite a bit.
There are a lot of talented people. There's writers that leave a legacy of their work. They've been blessed in whatever way to be able to do that, to execute the work and to get it out there somehow. But there's those writers that, for whatever reason, even though they might have the initial gifts, were hesitant in following through with it, just never got to the local college to take a class or start making connections or move to a city where they could actually, test their gifts against the ability to get work doing it. I mean, what would you say to those people that maybe have more of a hesitant personality and just are more fearful to take a chance on their gift?
This gets into my Tony Robbins speech. For those people, and it's not just in the arts, it's in so many different areas of people's life.
Yeah.
You've got to stop and look at yourself and decide what you want out of life. Now, this, by the way, this crosses all spiritual beliefs. It's not something that's unique to people who are Christian or Muslim or atheist. And the reason I bring that up is a lot of people think, this life is my trial life, I have a better life later on. And whatever your belief is, I personally think that what you do know and what you are aware of right now is this life. And if you believe in God, then God has given you this life to make the best that you possibly can for yourself and for those people around you. The question of what's out there is not something that you should be striving for there. You should keep all of these options open in your mind, but don't neglect what's going on now.
Right now.
Right at this particular moment. I think a lot of people have talent, but they are afraid of the rejection. And that takes on many, many forms. When you create something, especially as a writer, and if you don't want to show it to anybody else, it's perfect. It's a perfect little baby because you've not shown it to anybody. But the moment I've shown it to you, you now have the right and the option, and my fear is you will say, it's a lovely baby, but the smile could be wider, the palms could be a little bit thinner, and I'm not really sure I like that button nose. Mm-hmm. You're crushing my little baby.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to rationalize what's worth it to you. What do you want to accomplish with your life? And I come back to what I said. It's happiness. So my question to a lot of people is, what would you risk to be totally happy? And if you don't say everything,
you're not in the game.
Yeah, well, yeah. And it's kind of a foolish thing. It's kind of like saying, if I asked you right now to give up everything you have, but you would be totally happy if you did it, would you do it?
Yeah.
Of course you would, because happiness is the thing, and it's how you define it. Because your happiness can be everything that's around you. It can be the person you love. It can be the beliefs you have, the belongings you have. It can be these things, but that's what you're struggling for. So why would you sit there and say, I have this incredible gift, and yet I'm afraid to put it out there because somebody won't appreciate it? Whereas my other side is, put it out there because you could fulfill somebody else's life with it. And not only that, if it's not appreciated by somebody else, you still appreciate it. You had to do it. You had to put it out there. Let it roll off of your back. And you keep doing it. And so much of this particular business, we've got the art and we've got the business. So much of this business deals with things that are beyond your control anyway. When I write my scripts, my zero draft, as I mentioned it, when I get to my first draft, that is my baby, because that's the one I will show to other people. That one is my baby. I love that one. Okay? Now, I've now put my baby up for adoption because, in truth, I took my real baby and put it on the shelf. I will always have that baby. I'll always be able to look at it. Now I let the rest of it just wash off my back. It doesn't mean I stop being creative, but it means that I become open to what other people think about the work. And bottom line, I get to pick and choose.
And open to the fact that your script might just be morphed into something that you had no plan of it becoming.
Absolutely. It can become better. Lisa and I read each other's materials, and we give a lot of notes to each other, sometimes pretty heavy notes. And we both know that it's the other person's responsibility to be honest, and it's my responsibility to then take her honesty and, without any kind of subjectivity, filter it through what I need. So that I'm not going to listen to one of her notes and just reject it because it like hurt my feelings. Not in a personal sense, but it's like, there's a line I love this line, it's a wonderful line, and Lisa didn't like it. Well, she's wrong. Well, that's not the attitude I take. The first thing I say is, well, why didn't she get what I thought I had put down on paper? And I try to see it through her eyes. And if I finally come to the conclusion that she didn't get it, then I continue with what I need to do.
Because that could very well be
It's very possible. Right. But if I don't look at it through your eyes, I'm not going to have a chance to grow. People don't grow from positive reinforcement. That's a horrible thing. It's great for training dogs. But if I just basically told you were wonderful and you were wonderful and you're wonderful, why would you change? Because you're wonderful.
Yeah, but that's okay. You can do that.
Well, I have done it. You keep changing. Keep becoming better. But if somebody in a very...
I love this man.
If somebody gives me honest critique and says, not that I'm a bad writer, but says, this you can improve on, this you can do better. And if I'm smart enough to recognize it, then I do have a place to go to.
Yes, I think that's one of the qualities of you that has been able to form your writing to where you have constantly improved over the years.
One of the most difficult things in television, film, and in stage is not to take notes from someone. It's to give notes. Because, you would not believe how long it takes if I get somebody's script and they say, please read through this, I don't, as Lisa can attest, I don't just give a blanket, oh, this is nice. I'm detailed. I get into psychology, I get into all sorts of things.
And you actually give suggestions on how to fix it. So not only do you show the problems, you give, if you get ideas how to fix it, you put them out there.
And that's part of the problem solving part of me.
Right.
But I always try to make sure that it's understood that I'm not giving a suggestion that has to be taken because it's the only possible answer. It's to give an example of where I'm coming from.
Right.
So, but when I have to give notes to somebody, when I give notes to Lisa, it's not a problem because we've known each other so long, we have this understanding.
Well, I just totally respect you.
And same back to you.
Yeah, knowing that, I think it makes it easier.
Yes, there's a trust level there because of we both like each other's work, go figure. But when I have been given scripts from other people and asked to read their scripts, I try to tell them right up front, I don't give simple notes. And I will give you an overall generality about what I like, because I want to encourage those things that I do like. But I'm not going to give you a blanket attaboy.